There we go. Wasn't sure if that was on. Well, welcome to the show, folks. Glad you could tune in again. If you don't know me, my name is Mike Asherbrenner, professionally known as the Redneck Connector and proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community. And you are tuning in to Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN RVA 106.1 FM. Wow, folks. I say it every week because it's dadgum true every week. Today's special guest, man, he knows what it's like to hit a wall and then build something real from the other side of it. Darren Crosby went from bankruptcy to helping entrepreneurs fund and grow their businesses the smart way without wrecking their personal credit. So he's lived it, rebuilt it, and now he's teaching and providing a way for us business owners how to do it right. So I'm excited for this one. Let's roll the intro and welcome new hound and amazing guy, Darren Crosby, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope. We turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations, well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success, it's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness, just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
All right, folks, this guy, he for sure knows about crawfish and singing on a Friday night. So let's bring him up, the one and only Darren Crosby, everybody. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me here.
Good, man. You're one of the most relaxed, chillest guys I ever met, man. But you get stuff done. You just got that welcoming vibe to you. So happy to have you in the house. It's been just a couple months, right?
Yeah. No, I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's how you know it's good. When you meet somebody for a month or two and you feel like it's been a couple years. Well, that could also be bad too. But in this case, it's spot on. So, brother, let's jump straight into it, because your story, I mean, just in true Hounds fashion, is you just didn't wake up one day and said, "Let me help people with business credit," right? You have a specific story. So share that little bitty bit, and I've got a question for you, because you walked through fire of bankruptcy and rebuilt the business that now helps others avoid those pitfalls and all those things that cost you. You want to help other people avoid. So tell us a little mini story, and then what was the single biggest lesson from that low point? How does it shape how you serve entrepreneurs today?
Yeah. Once again, thanks for having me. I've been a serial entrepreneur for the better part of 20 years. Knew when I was about 11 years old that I wanted to own my own business at some point. Wasn't sure what it was going to be. Got my professional career started in the mortgage business, working for a large company here in Atlanta. Left them, took 5 people with me and started my own, built it up to about 35 loan officers, 15, 20 operations support staff. Just got burned out on the mortgage business. Owned 3 Wingstop locations along the way. And then in 2013, I bought a golf cart company that was doing about $900,000 a year in revenue. Grew it up to, we closed out 2019 just shy of $2.5 million a year in revenue.
Wow.
Loved the business, loved my customers. Had at the time what I thought was a phenomenal business model. Unfortunately, my phenomenal business model did not jive with COVID. 90% of my revenue, I had the largest rental fleet of golf carts in Atlanta, and 90% of my revenue came from rentals to all the festivals and events around town. So on March 6th, 2020, which is a date that will resonate in my mind forever, like 9/11 does for every American, right as we were getting ramped up for our busy spring season, in the span of about 4 hours, I had every festival, event, and summer camp cancel on me. And had a 20,000 square foot warehouse space. Landlord wasn't willing to work with me, and unfortunately had to shut down the business and bankrupt the business. And I had to file a personal bankruptcy as well, because I was personal guarantor on an owner held note, as well as a $250,000 line of credit that I used to purchase the golf carts to add to the rental fleet. And even though I'd owned a few businesses, I just always assumed you had to sign personal guarantees. And then about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I stumbled across a company, TJ Corporate Consultants, who I work under the umbrella of. And their core product was building business credit tied to the business's EIN. And that ends up putting business owners in a spot where they no longer have to sign personal guarantees, and they're separating their personal assets from the business. And the first words out of my mouth to Earl Adams, one of the founders of TJ, was, if I had known this existed in 2013, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
My golf cart company would still be in business, because I would have had access to a $2 million line of credit that I could have used and just floated on the bare minimum expenses till the festival industry came back. And so now I've always been passionate about small businesses. And now I just try to bring my experience, the home runs and strikeouts, to the table to help business owners make smart, strategic financial decisions surrounding their business, so they can avoid what ended up happening to me.
Amen. And see, again, there's nothing wrong with starting a business to help people and make money, but that's what caught my attention with you. Hey, if I would have had this and known it was available and people educated me and provided a real solution, I still have my daggum business. And so, yeah, that's why we're doing this show, because a lot of folks, including me, had zero clue about the difference makers. So let me ask you this before we move on. Most business owners know a little about credit, including this guy, right? So what they don't know is costing them money, freedom, and growth. I learned that through you. So what's the biggest misconception entrepreneurs have about corporate credit?
The biggest misconception, on a daily basis, I'll be talking to a new potential client, and they'll say, I already have business credit. I've got a Chase Inc. for business, or I've got a Platinum Amex for business. And my first response is, well, Mike, is your name on that business card? They look at it, they go, well, yeah. That's being reported to the personal bureaus. It's not being reported to the business bureaus. And the other thing that people don't realize is there's only about 5% of the financial institutions that will intentionally report a positive payment history to the business credit bureaus. If you miss a payment, they'll gladly report the negative, but not the positive. And so, probably 99 times out of 100, people think they have business credit when they really don't.
Right. Well, why is that so important to build credit through their EIN and not their personal? And why is that distinction so important for business, for practical?
Yeah, no, great question. One, separating your personal assets from the business, because God forbid something happened to you like what happened to me with the golf cart company. But two, you're able to get access to more capital at better terms than you would through your traditional bank. And the reason why I'd say you're able to get more is the amount of capital you have access to has nothing to do with revenue, nothing to do with tax returns, P&Ls, balance sheets. It's all based on a multiple of the monthly spend of the business. And they end up getting roughly 10x.
It's just something people don't talk about. If they do, it's probably clear as mud, right? Like, you got so many things to run your business and so many tasks to do. And then you usually get, if you're me, the only way you hear about this at the most inconvenient time is through some spam email or something, right? And because honestly, I'm not going to do business when it comes to my credit with some random email, right? And that's why we're putting you out there, because it didn't take me long to realize this guy's the real deal, and it's important. But it's really easy to put off on the back burner back burner because A, you don't know where to turn, and B, you can't trust them. I mean, let's be honest. So let me ask you real quick before we move on.
Yeah.
You just hit it. For a business that's never properly established credit, even small business scale ups, what's the very first step? I mean, maybe meet with you would be the first step, but and why do so many founders actually skip that step?
Well, the first step is kind of cleaning up your house, so to speak. Making sure that your physical business address is the same one that's registered with the Secretary of State. Making sure you've got a website, an email address, and setting up the foundation. And then you go and register with the business credit bureaus so that as you're going through the process, the financial institutions that you're getting credit from, that they're actually going to be reporting to all three of the business credit bureaus, Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax for Business, and Experian for Business.
Do you see me grab my pen? Because I'm actually writing this down. We need to meet too. Keep going.
Yeah. And then from there, it's just a matter of, applying for credit. And through our Tri-Touring platform, we have the whole process from step 1 to step 7 laid out, simple, easy. We have access to a database of the roughly 2,500 financial institutions that we know actually report to the business bureaus. The business owner is able to see underwriting guidelines, what type of credit they're willing to extend, how much, and what the terms are, and then just use that corporate credit card, that working capital line of credit, pay it responsibly, and then just continue on down the road.
So you just guide people through understanding it, what processes it takes, solutions to build that, because you could just write it out and I'm probably going to mess it up, not get to it, so that's your job. You don't sell things. You're over here guiding people to what they should have. They just never got around to it, or they don't understand it.
Correct.
Right? And that's the key. Or like me, trust is everything. That's why we built the whole trust first, safe entrepreneur community. And that's what matters to me. Hey, does this guy have my best interest at heart? And by the way, everybody out there on radio land, go to Darren.tryturning, or nope. Did I say that right? Tell them the website. I'm messing.
Darren, DAREN .trytouring,
There it is.
TURING.AI.
Or you can go to LinkedIn. If you folks are mostly on there, go to Darren Crosby, DARREN Crosby, and go check out his profile. All his links and his calendar links are right there. And real quick, got to give a shout out to Mike King of Mike King Biz Radio, ESPN. Thank you for the opportunity, our friends. For this whole year has been absolutely phenomenal, pushing folks up locally and internationally together. Mike King, Darren, they love him so much, man. They put him on the Jumbotron during the ball games. He still blushes too. He's a very humble man. But, through our partnership, we have been able to elevate and really push up phenomenal folks, right? Especially up and comers, right? So folks, don't go at this alone. Shameless plug. If you're out there trying to build a business, lead a legacy impact, that's hard. Without the people, resources, and support to get it done, it's an extremely uphill battle, if not possible. So that's why we create the Hounds of Business, right? Trust first, trust always, high value connections. You can check us out on YouTube at Hounds of Business. All right, LinkedIn, Redneck One, Mike Asherbranner, or weather pending. Y'all know I'm going to say it. Send us an old school carrier pigeon, man. We still take those, like Game of Thrones style. So if you're just tuning in, we're here with Darren Crosby. His story about building a big business, losing it during COVID, and saying, you know what, if I known business credit and knew the how-tos of how that would be beneficial, I still have my dadgum business. So that's why the man is out here helping other businesses, small, large, and everything in between, get prepared and get that business line of credit that you need. You never know when you're going to need it, right? Folks, during COVID, you already know anything can happen. So let's pick up this convo a little bit because we just talked about it. You guys have the tools and all of these things to walk through what people need. Let's go into the strategy portion of it. And correct me if I'm wrong here. You also coach on revenue acceleration and profitability. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. So on that note, how does strong corporate credit tie into strategies for doubling revenue and even tripling profits over time?
Well, one, the strong corporate credit is essential because it's getting you access to the capital that you need. But then as you're looking at saying, hey, I'm really ready to launch this rocket ship and take your business to another level, odds are you're probably going to need to invest in your business.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to need some money. And so have that working capital line of credit in place. Or let's say you're a plumbing company and you need to add half a dozen trucks to your fleet. The corporate credit is established. You can go to the Ford dealer and buy your half dozen trucks, all tied to your business without having to sign the personal guarantee, so that you can rapidly scale and grow your business.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. It's not easy because, but that's why we have you walking us through this. But you're right. It's what people might think. Well, I have cash on hand. I've got plenty of revenue. But we're talking about massive expansion and even little expansion, because even if you use your own capital, just the tiniest little thing, unexpected, right? External circumstances. It doesn't have to be COVID big. It could be a little hiccup that can send you into a tailspin. So even if you're not looking to use credit and all that, you should be able to have it. That's why, you may not need it, but get ready in case you need it, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's the old adage. The best time to apply for credit is when you don't need it. I've got one client that he was going through the process because he's got an SBA loan on the building that his business is in. And the SBA, they sink their teeth into everything, and he's got a lien on his house. And so he's refinancing his SBA loan into just a regular real estate term loan. And I told him, I said, well, Ryan, while you're at it, you ought to go get a working capital line of credit. And keep in mind, I got no skin in the game. I'm not getting compensated by whoever you're applying for credit with. And he's like, well, I don't have any debt. And I said, that's awesome. I'm not encouraging you to take on debt, but think of it as, in case of emergency, break glass.
Hey, it's like a safety net. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, as I always say, nobody goes into business thinking, hey, you know what? I'm just going to drive this car right into the ditch.
Right.
They all think 5 years down the road, they're going to be doing $10 million a year. I wish that was the case with every business. But regardless of what your business is, you're going to have a downturn. And if you reach a point where you need some money, you probably needed it 2 weeks ago. And you can't wait 60, 90, 120 days for a bank to approve you. And the bank's going to be less inclined to extend credit to you,
right,
if you're experiencing a downturn.
Right. And is that playing a key factor? So if you're applying and doing this way before like the market's going down or some big crisis or political climate, is it beneficial? Like, go ahead and have it ready, because when everybody's in emergency mode and, oh my gosh, we got to do it, then you're ahead of the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, let me ask you this, because I know folks I want to know anyway. I'm taking notes, man. So a lot of business owners, man, especially me, right? 24/7, they work all the time and still feel stuck. So when you look at their credit profiles and you take a dive into this, what do you often see that shows where they're bottlenecked? Like, is there a common theme where like, this is always usually comes up?
Really just the lack of the credit that they've gotten over the years actually being reported. Perfect example, I've got a custom home builder out in Boulder, Colorado, who happens to be my little brother. And so if you're looking for an amazing $5 million home in Boulder, check out Sloan Construction. That's my shameless plug for my brother. But he's had his company for 17 years, and he went through the credit building process because things are going great now, but he's been doing it long enough. He's like, hey, I know there's going to be a downturn in the real estate market. I've got an amazing crew, and I want to have access to a line of credit so that when there is a downturn, I can float payroll so I don't have to let anybody go and then try to rebuild the darn thing. But Lord knows, over 17 years, he'd had credit lines, auto loans, credit cards. And when we pulled up his his business credit profile, guess how many trade lines had reported over the course of 17 years?
I have no idea.
3.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, I've got 3 business credit cards right now. I've got 4 of my trucks financed, and I've got a $500,000 line of credit for my business through my bank. None of it reporting.
Oh, and that's a darn shame, right? So it's a matter of knowing how. That,
Yeah.
like, it's already there, but it doesn't benefit you unless somebody comes along and goes, hey, tie this to this, right? That's what you do. That's what I want to make sure folks understand. It's not about selling and convincing, man. You don't have to sell stuff like this. This should already be in place, and you share it. That's it. And honestly, I mean, from my line of work, meeting people and seeing what people face, they invested in the wrong things or they invested in the right thing at the wrong time, right? The out of season strategy. And that's why we're doing this, because I want people to know that you need to have this in place, because you hit the nail on the head, just like your brother. It's not if, it's when you have a downturn, when your dry season comes up, right? It's like what comes after spring, summer, right? Like, we know these things will happen, and be prepared ahead of time. Yeah. So real quick, as I want to emphasize this, bro, because you've been through it. And folks who may not have heard this, Darren built a large company and lost it all during COVID. Now he's here saying, look, if I had this, if I understood business credit and what I didn't know then, I still have my business. So now he's out there helping folks like you figure it out, educate, no sleazy sales stuff. You know how we roll. So walking through, Darren, the financial collapse and rebuilding, man, that's a unique kind of resilience. Hats off to you. You've been there and done that. How do you help entrepreneurs mentally map their path from fear to financial confidence in this arena? It's a mental aspect.
I would say just the mental aspect is, I've always been an optimistic person and keep a positive mindset and just sit there, know and believe that you can't lose sleep. You can't lose sleep over stuff that is out of your control. If you're making smart decisions along the way and a COVID comes or whatever, there's a huge downturn in the economy, just keep on trucking. It's kind of like the line from the country song. If you're going through hell, keep on going before the devil knows you're there.
Yeah.
There's going to be light at the other end of the tunnel.
See, now you're speaking Molly. You came ready with country song lyrics, my friend.
Oh, I love country music.
All right. Well, tell folks where they can find you again, for the folks listening on the radio, as well as the folks watching the restream or even live right now. What's the website and what can they expect? They can book a call with you and what to expect. Go ahead and give them the detail.
Yeah. The website is Darren, DARREN, .trytouring. That's TRYTURING.AI. You can book a 30-minute call with me, and I'm not a hardcore used car salesman kind of guy.
No, you ain't.
I'm just going to have a conversation, learn a little bit more about your business, see how I can help. And if you see benefit and value in what I'm bringing to the table, great. If not, no harm, no foul, and we made another connection.
Yeah, come back when you need it. That's my philosophy, man. Maybe somebody's not hungry, so if they walk into your, restaurant buffet, they'll come back when they're hungry. I mean, that's what I love about your style. And I just pulled up your other website. I haven't even seen this. 5-star reviews, folks in there, real stuff. So let's end up on this last question. If you could leave every business owner today with one truth about credit and growth, one idea that changes how they operate, what would it be?
One idea that changes how they operate. I would say one thing that hadn't mentioned, and you mentioned before, using your own cash and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Think of building the corporate credit as, one, in case of emergency, break glass, but two, keep your own cash in the bank and use it to manage cash flow. Take a commercial plumbing company. the vicious life cycle that folks in the trades get into. They get half a dozen projects in the pipe. They're getting bid requests for new ones, but they can't bring them on board until they get paid by the current pipe. And so their life cycle over the course of a year looks like a roller coaster ride versus positioning themselves where it's just a nice, steady flow of business.
I'm glad you said it. I don't have my fiduciary financial coach hat on, but if I did, thank you for sharing that because people get hung, like you said earlier, they get hung up on, well, I don't want to carry debt, or I do. What we're talking about is an upper level sky view strategy, right? Wisdom. What's the most effective? Sometimes it could make sense to carry credit or even carry debt because you got to trade off. So this is what I like about you. You don't look at just things in silos. You're looking at the sky view, and that's what we need more of, brother. So, man, I appreciate you. Look, I told you, he's concise. We're going to end early. My goodness gracious. So any other last words, anything you want to part with folks and the wisdom, anything else, or we say it all already?
I think we covered a lot of it. And Mike, I just want to thank you again for having me on here and just being the person that you are. And just want to wish everybody happy holidays and best of success to you in 2026. It's going to be a great year.
Oh, and for the Hounds, guys, hey, shameless plug, tune in tomorrow. This won't be just some pitch fest, or this will be a showcase of what the Hounds of Business has done in 2025 collectively, but more importantly, what we're going to be doing in 2026 and how you, business owners, entrepreneurs, folks with vision, passion, nonprofits, you name it, we'll be doing together. This will be extraordinary. You'll see some of the most amazing, high-value, successful men and women, and then the up-and-comers, right? Not just Oprah's and Joe Rogan, before they're Oprah and Joe Rogan, right? So this is the Hounds really premiere. If you're curious about what we do, come check us out. And Darren, man, super excited to have you in the pack to do more together in the coming year. And it's an honor, brother. I mean, as long as we're attracting and retaining super pros with big hearts like you, man, I know we're on track, right?
Absolutely.
Without question. So I appreciate you all. Hey, we'll see you back next year, same time. And fresh content, new look, everything's going to go boom. So catch us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. It'll go to about 8:30 or 9. Pop in, rub elbows, make comments, network with some of the best, brightest men and women. We got them. Medical innovators. Miss Pennsylvania will be joining us. I mean, folks, it's going to be a shebang. Even the folks from PodFest and Genius Network are going to attend. This is going to be phenomenal. And again, rub elbows, get to network. Get to know folks like this. They're big. They're as heart-centered as they are expert levels. So appreciate it. Glad to have you on board, of course, Darren. And folks, hey, whatever you're celebrating, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And we couldn't do this without you. And I don't say that for marketing purposes. Dadgummit, it's the truth. So appreciate all the listeners, viewers, fans, and followers. Hey, get ready, buckle up. Because of you, we're going. And especially in PodFest, all right? So we'll see you hopefully at PodFest. If you're interested in joining PodFest, we have a discount code. Go to LinkedIn, Redneck1, Mike Asherbrenner, and we'll give you the Hounds discount, Hounds special, folks. So be good. Thank you, Darren.
Awesome.
See you soon, buddy.
Cheers. Thanks, bud.
Be good. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.